Marocains sans frontières.
Miss Agnès Venema, good evening. Thank you for accepting our invitation.
My pleasure.
So my first question is about your participation this afternoon at the debate around identity. So what were your expectations regarding your participation, and was it consistent with your expectations?
Well, my expectations were very high, as I know that it's a very professional institute organizing this event. So, yes, in that sense, my expectations were certainly met. I'm really glad I got to provide the participants to the panel with sort of a more international, global view of the problems surrounding identity, as it was a very Moroccan-focused debate, of course, as we are in Morocco. I think that we can learn from one another, so I'm really glad that I was given the opportunity to actually add to this panel in the sense that I could give examples from how other countries deal with their migration problems, the issues they experience, and hopefully this will have inspired some of the people present at the round table, and maybe it will have given them some tools to actually work with. So I had high expectations, and I think they were all met. Yes.
Thank you. And as you know, there is an identity crisis all over the world. What can we do to get out of this crisis?
Well, that's a very hard question. I think if I knew what to do to get out of this question, I might be able to get the Nobel Peace Prize. So I really don't think that I have all the answers. But I think a good step forward is having the dialogue about this. And I think that's exactly what we're doing here. Have the dialogue about what are the issues that we have with migration and identity. What are the problems that people face when they face this identity crisis? Is it that they don't feel a sense of belonging? Is it the problem that they have too many cultures which they liaise to? So I really think that having this dialogue in the first place is the most appropriate place to start with. And from this dialogue, we can build into the political stance, see if there's any policies that we can adapt to help prevent or mitigate this crisis. Look at cultural and religious leaders to see what their contribution can be to solving this crisis. And then hopefully, eventually, we'll be able to find an answer to this problem.
Okay. Thank you. So do you have another thing that you want to add to?
I think it's important to realize that identity crisis is not something specific to only Morocco or only Moroccan immigrants to Europe, or it's happened all over the world, and it's been happening for such a long time. And when I say crisis, it sounds very grave. But as was said also during the round table, identity is something fluid. So I think maybe we should be a little less scared and a little more open towards changing our culture, even though there's always resistance to change. This is natural in the human being. I think being a little bit more open might help us adapt easier to the changing reality we live in and the more globalized world. Because in the societies where we live in right now, people travel abroad for work. They go on holiday abroad. They move to countries for work, and different cultures are only a click away on the internet. So I really think that opening up a little bit might help us cope with such an identity crisis.
So Mr. Agnès Venema, on behalf of the Council of the Moroccan Community Teams, we'd like to thank you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you very much.